Hello and thank you for tuning in to Millennium Movies. So some pretty out of left field news here. Series creator of The X-Files, Chris Carter, is claiming that Academy Award-winning director Ryan Coogler is set to helm the next iteration of the X-Files series comeback. But now we don't know if this is going to be a reboot or if it's going to be a continuation of the original canon that was set forth in the X-Files franchise in the universe of the X-Files, because we do know with the series' subsequent return in 2016 and 2018 that, the actors who played, Mulder and Scully are done with those characters, but that doesn't mean we have to be done with that particular universe and that canon. We don't know any details on that, but what we do know is that Ryan Coogler wants to focus on a more diverse cast of characters, and we know that this is going to be steeped in a universe that's more, or it's going to be more in touch with the lore that comes with conspiracy theories, and that makes sense, and I believe that probably means that it's going to be taking place in the modern times. I'm talking about like in the 2020s era, it's somewhere around there, something more modern. So those are the only things that we can sort of take away from this news initially in terms of things that we know 100%. But in terms of what this could mean, I gotta say, I think initially some fans, or probably some OG fans and some fans who came along to the X-Files series who are really sort of more new to it, like myself, because I'm barely watching season 3. I barely got into the X-Files last year. I've always known about it, but I just never seen it up until recently. And I love the series. I love the camaraderie and the relationship and the back and forth between Mulder and Scully. I don't think you can ever recreate that duo. They were an iconic duo back in the 90s. I mean, they were huge. So I don't think you can do that, and I don't think that's also going to be trying. I don't think Ryan Coogler is going to try and accomplish that with this series. We know, with the fact that what we know is that it's going to be focusing on a more diverse cast of characters. I imagine that means that this is probably going to be more of a committee sort of approach to it, where we're probably going to focus on maybe 3 to 4 to maybe 5 agents. Maybe I believe that that's probably the way they're going to go, because if you just try and have two new characters to sort of be the new Mulder and Scully, I think people are going to hate that. I think people are going to be very opposed to that. They're not even going to give it a chance, and that's probably not the direction you want to take this new series. What I think instead you should do is, like I said, create a well-rounded cast of actors and characters and make them unique and make them different to each other, but make them also play off of each other very well. And also, I think the casting is going to be essential to whether this series, fails or succeeds, because again, the actors for the OG X-Files characters of Mulder and Scully, they were perfect for those roles. And the stories were pretty interesting. Some of them can be a little cheesy, especially for the times, but it was about the tone that the X-Files set that got people to keep coming back weekly and for each season after the next. So I think what you have to do is create a world of very interesting sort of modern stories, and get weird with it. At this point, get weird with it. We've seen series, iconic series try and make a comeback, and they just don't quite get to where they're trying to go with, like, for instance, the Jordan Peele Twilight Zone series. That went straight to, I believe it was CBS's Paramount site. Is that Paramount? I believe Paramount Plus. And nobody talked about it. Nobody talked about that series. So I'm very curious to see how they approach this, and, what type of stories they tell, what actors they get into the projects, and where this ultimately lands. I don't know if this is going to be on network television. Is this going to be on national TV, like on Fox or a CBS? Or I would imagine it'd be Fox, because it's owned by 20th Century is the studios who do this, but 20th Century is owned by Disney now. So I'm not sure if it would be on a cable television network or a national television network, or if this is going to go straight to streaming. Because I think if it goes straight to streaming, you have to be very careful with where you place it, because again, just like with the Twilight Zone series, that got thrown on Paramount Plus and nobody watched it. So gonna be very curious to see where it ends up landing. But yeah, let me know what you're thinking in the comment section down below, if you're excited for this new X-Files series announcement, or if you're maybe remaining a little bit more hesitant until you see the proof in the pudding and actually watch the show or a trailer, or you know what I'm trying to say. But as always, if you want to stay up to date on all the latest in the world of movie and TV news, well, you're in the right place, and I hope you consider subscribing to the channel, because I would love to have you along for the ride. But until next time, this has been Millennium Movies. I will see you all very soon.